with the bow. I think the bow is going to be the thing that throws them off the most. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be in the first chest right here as we kick off this quarterfinals match.
I'm going to go with the Turtle Rock Small Key for this seed, and we are off and running.
All right. So both players starting from Sanctuary, but splitting left and right. zelgadissan likely to be setting up the Houlihan.
Yeah, we see Jet killing a guard to set up the tree pole coming up in just a moment. And Zelga's going to be diving into the water to set up the Houlihan strats.
Checking out our pull trees, small hearts.
Oh, that's disgusting.
What happened to that sign? Did that sign get thrown at a heart? Like, I don't understand what happened there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what ended up happening, because I would have thought that was going to knock out the... Well, actually, that's a good hermit crab, at least, with the 20 rupees.
He killed it immediately. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But...
Ooh, the flute in Link's house, and I didn't miss to see what was in the lumberjack cave.
I couldn't quite see it myself.
But Zelga, for the routing here, is going to have tremendous routing in the fact that with the flute, you can activate that in your first trip in.
Yeah, that's so good. You know, the mobility will just be there, and when Jet eventually heads to Link's house, he'll probably want to go activate it.
And we get our first sword here in the Lost Woods. So Zelga's going to go ahead and check to see what's at the race game before they decide to invest a bomb, and it turns out to be 20 rupees.
Yeah, farming the hoarders there actually kind of caught Jet up to Zelga a decent amount in terms of the rupee count, and he already has a sword, which is great. I'm sure Zelga's going to find that as he heads north, though.
I believe that was arrows inside of the library, so we're not going to see these runners coming back for that. Oh, bomb says tier 2.
Very nice.
So,
bombs everywhere, apparently.
Jet is getting everything that Jet really needs at this point. The money, and also the whole, let's get ourselves some bombs as Zelga gets a map, and Jet entering in from the north.
Yeah, Zelga going to have to buy a little bit of bombs here. It doesn't take up too much time, but, you know, every second counts when it's these top-tier games.
I'm surprised it didn't opt to go ahead and do one in the chicken coop first before buying the bombs, but I'm guessing it's just to stay back on the walk.
Oh, and there's the hammer in Blind's house.
And the moon pearl.
Wow. We just need some gloves, and we're off to the Dark World.
So ready to see that. We get a small key for Dark Palace.
And a map for deserts.
Map for desert. Yeah, obviously, we don't know what our dungeons are going to be at this point, so we'll see how that turns up a little bit later on, as Zelga will go ahead and activate the flute, something that Jet's going to have to come back and do a little bit later on.
So we're going to get our first peek at the well from Jet here. 5 more items.
And so far, not that great with an arrow upgrade, but something you might have to help yourself out a little bit later on. 20 rupees. Oh, big key from the bottle vendor there. It's the Tower of Hera big key.
Wow, if we find a hook shot or a mirror, that's already available to be completed. We don't know if it's a crystal or a pendant, but, you know, a completable dungeon is completable. Get that hammer out or sword and get to work.
So as these runners continue to mop themselves up here in Kakariko Village, should be interesting to see what they route and how they choose to go after they're done with here. Obviously, with a sword in hand, do you go to the castle first, or do you opt to go towards South Shore?
Well, they don't have quite enough rupees for Zora, but the Water Walk plays is now available too, so you can do a lot in the South Shore. I think you do it. I think you go to the dam, you check out Mini Moldorm. You know, maybe you do something else after that. Maybe you go up to the mountain. Maybe you, if you want to YOLO it, you can go for Agana's Cave. We've seen players take some risks in this tournament, and I think that could be a good one.
I was incorrect. That was not arrows inside the library. Now that's interesting because who knows where the other 3 are?
Yeah, absolutely. That could bottleneck them, literally.
So just gonna go home and we'll find the flute and probably go, why couldn't I have had this a few moments ago when I was in Kakariko Village?
Zelga about to pick up that sword. And let's see what's at Old Uncle. Just 50 here in the secret passage chest. But I'm curious if with that flute, where Zelga's gonna go, because I think he's bouncing out of here right now.
Yep.
He has not checked the lumberjack yet, though.
South Shore.
Yeah, I mean, flute takes you right there. It's so convenient. Ooh, a small key for desert. Can't really do anything with that yet, but that is a nice thing to find. Opens up 2 more item locations in desert.
And we have the ice rod underneath the dam.
Well, if T-Rock is required, that's a nice thing to get out of the way. That's just a nice thing to have already, and, you know, may be required for progression as well. Looks like Zelga's found the hoarder here with all the cash. Could decide to farm up for Zora, but elects to go towards Mini Moldorm first.
Yeah, the thing is that puts you really close, and if you find a 300 rupee here in this next cave, guess what?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a fine play. I mean, 5 chests here. If you want, you can sneak over to Ice Rod Cave. You can fake flipper to Hobo and then fake flipper back out. You can check Waterfall Fairy Cave. Maybe by the time you've done that, you've picked up like a couple hundreds or whatever, too.
Big key for Turtle Rock.
I'll rip your guess.
And also, there is the first of our bottles. So that one that's in the library, not going to be required.
Jet doing a death warp now. We might see Zelga turn in that bottle soon. Now he's going to 8 Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, just saving the frames right there with the flute.
That's the advantage he has right now. It's a fantastic advantage. Put it to work.
And we're going to say goodbye to Jet for a little bit.
Ice Rod, a map for Misery Mire. I really love seeing maps early on in the game. Just gives you information. It's like, do I really need to bother with this pendant? I'll probably put this off and do some crystals.
So Zelga's going to go back, and we're going to go back to home, and I think now Zelga's going to head to Hyrule Castle.
Okay, okay.
So I'll point out that what Jet's doing right now is considered a sequence break, and we have a small key to Turtle Rock. Thank you, Text.
Yeah, that's a beautiful find. Especially knowing where the big key is. You know, and we have Ice Rod, too. Like, we have a medallion. We have Hammer. I mean, the pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
And we also have a small key for Turtle Rock. So we got a small key, we got a big key for Turtle Rock, and Jet's going to go ahead and activate the flute. A little unfortunate for Jet having to go back to Kakariko Village just to do this.
Yeah, but I imagine he'll be heading where Zelga went and go to the South Shore, head up the dam, hit up Mini Moldorm. It's just so easy to head to those places right now, and there's a lot of items.
Yeah, pretty much what you're seeing is the runners are going to go do the opposite the other one is doing. And that's the way that this early game's going to be run.
Well, until you get access to the Dark World, there aren't really a lot of divergent options. Like right now, you can go to Eastern and Sahasrara. That's kind of a more lucrative area. But I think before you do the South Shore, maybe you find the bow if you're lucky, and then Eastern becomes a better play. That's why you tend to see people put off some of the dungeons, and do all the overworld they can prior to going in.
And that's totally understandable because you want to try to limit your backtracking.
Exactly. And that's the key to Keysanity. Keysanity is all about finding those keys first and finding the major items. But sometimes it's backwards. You gotta go in those dungeons. You gotta take some risks. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that here today.
As Jet picks up the ice rod, will Jet go ahead and pick up the moocher for some more rupees while we're going through here? Yep. Might as well.
Yeah, he's getting awfully close to that Zora money. 100 left.
Got the jackpot right there.
Zelga's setting up that death warp here.
Yep. Oh, we're going to be hurling the guard right at the ball and chain guy.
That's an amazing way to do it.
And also notice that says that's the big key to this dungeon. That's something that we are going to see now in version 29.
Very cool. So there's Quake and the big key for Turtle Rock and Full Heart and a bottle for Jet. We'll see if he decides to turn that in immediately or heads over to Ice Rod.
And I do want to point out, just because some people have been asking, this is indeed version 29. We did upgrade to version 29 just before the first match of this round, which was Andy versus Zafrod.
And it's mostly just bug fixes and quality of life changes. It's nothing significant that would make these runners really have to reconsider what they do. Maybe in pod.
Zelga's going to have a little bit of a problem at this point because down to a half a heart.
And of course, cosmetic things like fun sprites.
And we also unleashed the beast, so that way we can at least try to not get hit by a rat. So Jet is going to go towards Eastern first.
Okay. Seems like a fine play. It's in logic, which is a note.
I agree. We're still on tier 1, or tier 0 rather. And that means these things are accessible to you at the very beginning of the game. You don't need any special items to get them.
So Zelga did clutch it out and manage to actually get that small key for Turtle Rock.
Palace of Darkness is the green pendant.
We got 3 chests here. Once the flippers! Wow. Bet you're glad you went here first, Jet.
Absolutely. So now Zora is in logic.
And that Zora ledge item, you can actually collect it, which is great.
Our container on the desert ledge, and Jet's going to go ahead and explore Eastern. Might as well while you're over here.
Alright, these guys have gone to opposite sides of the map. See if there's some value in Agana. This could be big, because this is way out of the way. One of the last things you tend to check. And Zelga's doing it now.
And it's just a piece of heart, which was enough to give you 4 for Zelga, but not necessarily what you want to see at this stage. So it does appear that those flippers may be the progression. Or, well, there's the cane of Samaria.
I'm telling you, Rick, Turtle Rock is coming.
It is really shining at these guys already at this stage in the run.
I mean, it'll still take a little while to get there. We need some way to get to East Death Mountain. We need some mitts, but we're getting there. Probably a fire rod, maybe a couple more keys.
There's your glove, so there's your Dark World access.
Wow, Eastern loaded here. Holy smokes.
Now, before we had this discovery, I was going to say that that flippers could be the progression, or the flute may be the progression by way of Spectacle Rock, but that's now out the door.
Oh, well, it doesn't discount anything. We could still see something awesome up there.
That's right, but the options now are open.
They really are. There is a lot to explore now.
And we have the big key for Thieves Town, so a good thing to be going through here early on, because you have to think that Thieves Town may be one of the first stops on the tour if we get another small key here.
Yeah, if I were Jet, I'd be feeling pretty good right now, but Zelga's following suit here. Pretty much run out of options at this point. Other than maybe South Shore and the water location, Zora area. Now, we don't have the big key for Eastern, so we have to leave behind the big chest. So it's just this vanilla big key chest that Jet will be able to check here, going through this dark room, and then that's it.
I do like the fact that Zelga is picking up the blue rupees while you're here. It's knowing where they are, and that's going to help you a little bit later on, because obviously Zora is still on the table at this point.
Absolutely. But, I mean, you can go get Hype Cave and get 5 free items right now. Could be a little more lucrative.
And there's bombs to end our path through Eastern. So now with the gloves in hand, the question is, where do we go? The options are super heavy. And the first stop that Jet's going to be going on to is the Hype Cave.
Can I get some hype for Hype Cave? It's coming, folks. And I'm pumped. I think this is going to be a pretty hype cave. Still looking for plenty of stuff.
Is this really going to be a hype? Is this really going to be the hype that you're dreaming of?
Absolutely. Let's get Fire Rod, Mire, and mitts, so that we can go into Turtle Rock immediately.
First up in our exploration, we find the cave.
Ooh.
Interesting. And then we have bombs. We have a piece of heart. We have a small key to Thieves Town. There it is!
Wow, full clear on Thieves Town available immediately.
And Jet's booking for there, I believe.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think it's a really solid play to go there. Full clear, you got the hammer, you got the small key, you got the big key. What's there to lose? It might be a crystal.
Well, first we're going to go ahead and check the bag 3 of Escape, and that is a good play. You don't leave them behind because there might be something that helps you on your way.
Absolutely. I mean, the only downside of going through Thieves right now is you got 5 hearts. That's kind of the trick here, but these guys are very experienced. They know how to handle themselves.
They wouldn't have made it to the top 8. Otherwise, there's the book for Desert. We have the big key for Swamp and the small key for Misery Mire.
Good haul.
So now Zelga is making the play for the bag 3 of Escape. Has not gone to the Hype Cave. That could be interesting.
Well, probably gonna save and quit from here, then maybe go to Hype Cave and just start exploring the Dark World, because we could see some divergent strategies. Maybe zelgadissan will head to the pyramid, do catfish. You know, there's a lot of stuff open right now. You can go to Pod if you want. I think Pod, you don't have a lot of keys right now. You got 1 key, and it is the green pendant, so it would be a bit of a risk, but you can go for it.
One thing I did notice here, and Zelga does go back to the Sanctuary, so that gives me reason to believe that we are heading to the Dark Road and heading to Thieves. One thing that what struck me as interesting is that Jet did not go to the bomb shop.
That's
and
true.
we find out that Desert is crystal number 4.
I mean, I don't think that's a priority right now for either of these players to really know
Right.
what it is. So that might be something that they visit later.
That's right, but it's more of an idea of knowing where things are. Now, before Jet goes over to Thieves Town, let's go ahead and check what's in Skull.
And I'm a little surprised Zelgadissan didn't bust out that flute and head to Kakariko that way. But we're seeing a pedestal check right away from Zelgadissan. This could be a big deal.
Here we go. Now, first for Jet, let's go ahead and check what we have here in Skull. Actually, I think we're going to find out what's on the pedestal first. And we find out that it's Couch Cash, and the Titan's Mate is in Skull.
Wow. Oh, this is the dream right here. We just need to find a way to ease Death Mountain and the Fire Rod. We're good to go for that T-Rock play. Well, we probably need some keys, but, you know. The way that Zelgadissan routes right now is extremely important. Finding those mitts will help so much.
And Zelgan is heading for Skull Woods.
That's excellent.
Oh, red pendant is ice. 3 is Misery Mire. So we now know 2 of our 3 pendant dungeons.
Good intel. With the red cane, you can get through the statue room pretty easily.
Make sure you don't take a bump by an enemy as you walk in the door, but you're fine. There's the map for Turtle Rock. Yay.
Well, we'll know if this ice rod is required, absolutely required or not, which is pretty interesting.
And
that's going to
Zelga will
be it
go
for Skull Woods.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all you can do at this point. So Jet's going to back away, head on over towards Thieves Town in the village of Outcasts. Zelga picks up the Titan's Mane, and we'll soon see where Zelga goes after this. This is a very close match still at this point.
Absolutely. And Jet is heading over to Bumper Cave. He did get that cape.
Oh, right,
in
yes.
Hype Cave.
This is huge, too, because don't forget, Zelga did not go into the Hype Cave, and it's...
Oh! Holy smokes! That is quite the payoff for Jet here. Wow. Now, if Zelga checks it, you know, he'll know at least. And Hype Cave will probably be something he does relatively quickly, but he might be without it for a while. He may go into Thieves first.
This is routing at this point. You remember me making a big deal because of the small key in Thieves Town. Well, that still could come into play too in just a few moments here, but now Jet is going to be able to move around so much faster, and that has in the past made the difference in some races.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, you can check a few other items, too. We got Bonk Rocks. You can get that bottle in the library if you want it. You know, just mobility through Thieves Town. Not even just to go through it quickly, but just to maneuver through the enemies is just a lot easier. You know, being able to just dodge or dash through the enemies is very significant, especially with low hearts like this.
Jez immediately going into Thieves Town before checking out the chest game or the bombable hut. Now Zelga's gonna get the information about the boots up here, so that's good. At least now Zelga knows once you get the cape, those boots are yours.
Alright. Nothing's too exciting here in Thieves so far. We got bunch of chests in here, and Jet will be able to full clear, as we mentioned. A lot of pieces of heart.
You mentioned not having a lot of health. Well, this is perfect.
Well, we've been finding so many amazing items. It's been pretty crazy. No time for hearts.
Just a reminder, we are in the quarterfinals of this tournament, and all games in the quarterfinals are single matches. So the loser of this match, they are done for the tournament.
Yeah, everything's on the line for these players, so they're gonna be giving us their best performance here. We did see 3 bombs in the brewery, the bomb hut there in Village of Outcasts, and we're gonna see the chess game for the first time. There's a map in there of Thieves. That's pretty convenient. Now I know where Thieves is.
And now we know it's Crystal 2.
The map's gotta just be like an arrow, just like pointing right. Just like go over there.
So the big question at this point, big key for Eastern Palace.
Ooh, that adds 1 item to the pool here of things that these guys can check, because that big chest could have progression. But they're likely going to put that off until they get the bow.
There's no reason to check that big chest until either you have a reason to go to pod or you're out of options. And that's pretty much your only stop is there. Now, I do want to remind you, Jet pulled out the small key, which will get him to the big chest here in Thieves Town. If there's something important for in that chest, that's backtracking for Zelga later.
That's a lot of backtracking, too. Especially considering he's walking right now.
Master Sword upgrade.
Wow. Well, with the book, that allows us to check tablets. We can't get to any of them, but it also opens up Desert Palace.
Okay, here we go. That is the mirror! Oh no!
Everything's just coming up Jet right now. Holy moly, that is a big deal. I bet Jet's feeling really good right now.
Is huge. That is huge. Because now we know that Zelga is going to have to come back in here at some point in time, especially if Swamp is for a crystal.
Or if any mirror location hides progress. Like if we need a Fire Rod is mirror locked or something, then...
Yeah. If Hookshot turns out to be in the Tower of Hera or in Eastern Death Mountain too.
Yeah, and that mirror really... Oh my goodness! Thieves Town so loaded! The D! Might I say this is a Jet seed, Rick?
Not yet.
We also found that Eastern Big Key, so now Eastern is completable.
Not
we don't
yet.
know if it's a pendant or a crystal.
We can't count our chickens before they've hatched. We are still missing like the Fire Rod and various other things.
We're missing a lot of keys too. We're finding a lot of major items, but not finding a lot of keys, and that's extremely important.
Oh, Turtle Rock is Crystal 5.
Yeah, that's some good intel. And with all the items these guys have been picking up, I mean, that's definitely a good place to go. But there's plenty to explore here in the South Dark World. I'm sure Jet's going to be doing that.
And Jet does have access to Turtle Rock at this point. Maybe.
The medallion
Maybe.
permitting, yeah.
So this is where Zelga is going to lose a lot of time. Don't forget, Zelga's doing this without the boots. That's already a loss of time right here. But we know the mirror in the big chest, and that's going to come up huge later on.
Absolutely. If that gates progress in any way,
Map of Swamp
this is
Palace.
not good for him. That's more good information. I really think these guys are having an easy time in this scene.
That map, and it is a crystal, so Zelga's gonna have to come back in here.
Absolutely required to get into Swamp Palace. Oh, that is a big deal. And that Thieves Town small key is in Hype Cave. I imagine Zelga will find it. Oh,
no.
Takes the death there against Blind. Ouch.
And that's just adding more to the problem. Zelga ducks out. Oh, no.
That means he's missing out on that bow. That may be a good thing, actually.
That depends.
That he died there.
Yeah.
Because it'll make it more of a priority for him to come back. I think that was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Because you know which way he's going right now. He could go to Hype.
Because now he's forced to beat Blind. He'll find that small key and he'll be like, oh, I'm here. I might as well check it. And then he'll find the mirror, and then he'll find the bow, and then you'll have plenty of stuff to check. So this,
you're right.
Yeah.
This could be a huge factor for Zelga. That death could maybe have saved Zelga's run, and not even going to get the map. Oh, we're still digging for extra money, maybe to get Zora.
Yeah, he's got to have Zora on his mind now.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and give up digging because we aren't getting any big rupees at this point. And now Zelga knows that the mirror is required this seed. Now, little does Zelga know where some of these good things are.
But
and there's a small key.
Oh yeah, small key here for Jet, for Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock.
It's coming! The Turtle Rock Reckoning is coming. But we see here Zelgadissan's gonna have to do a frog tour and skip out on that Turtle Rock small key because he doesn't have the mirror. So he's gonna have to, flute with that dwarf after saving and quitting to turn it in.
It all matters what he does when he has the purple chest.
Yeah, but one good thing for Zelga here is he's going to Hype Cave, right? And
yeah,
so
he's got to be going.
He's gonna find that cape.
Yeah.
And then he'll know exactly where he wants to go.
Yeah, he wants to go get those boots. He may opt to go take the dwarf on a nice long tour to get some boots.
Oh.
Gary's chest. Okay, so Turtle Rock and the Tower of Hera. Tower of Hera, the number 6 crystal.
We already found the big key for that dungeon, so we're kind of knocking stuff out, or able to knock a lot of stuff out right now. This could be a really fast scene.
So that means either Eastern or Skull will be our final pendant dungeon. And there's the cape for Zelga. So Zelga now knows that the boots are on the table.
And Eastern Palace is full clearable now as well. They did find that Eastern big key and the bow in Thieves Town. So they can find out pretty quickly what the last
There's
crystal
the bomb for the NPC. Zelga probably not happy to find what Zelga just found, but well, there you go, buddy. Have fun.
Well, Zelga's not immediately going for those boots. Decides, you know what, I'm here. Why don't we check the pyramid? Maybe we head up to Catfish and then do the save and quit.
Yeah, this is news to us here because we didn't see it from Jet earlier. I think Jet it may route it together with something to do with Palace of Darkness and other various things a little bit later on. So what we're going to find out is some interesting news on both fronts. It turns out Quake is required for Misery Mire, and it's on the pyramid.
Which we have, so that's a pretty big deal. Another Detour bottle and Bombos. Wow. So many major items just getting thrown at us left and right.
You know the bad thing about that bottle? Or rather, that Bombos.
Oh, I was like, the bottle? I'm confused, but Bombos means Fire Rod could be an Ice Palace.
That's correct.
And we have access to full clear Ice Palace right now. Well, hookshot could be required in the logic, but these guys probably know the bomb jumps to get through it.
There's a small key on the torch. That small key is for Turtle Rock.
Oh my goodness.
That's 3 of the main 4 we need.
We might even find Fire Rod and Turtle Rock, for all we know.
There's the map for Ganon's Tower. Yahoo! And there's another key to a Misery Mire. Yahoo!
We did find the desert small key earlier on, so Jet will be able to clean out this right side, but we don't have the big key for desert, and we know it's a crystal, so we're gonna be hunting for that one for quite some time.
Maybe it will be in its vanilla location. Maybe it'll be just a bomb upgrade. I tried!
You did try. I'll give you props for trying. Now, will Jet go into Misery Mire? It looks like we're gonna get checkerboard cave check first, which makes a lot of sense. We don't have the big key for Mire, but we have the boots to bonk into it, and we have the red cane if we do find the big key in there.
Compass.
We don't have any fire sources either, so it looks like Jet wants to just peace out of there. There's that bloomerang at Smith's, and Jet is going to Old Man Cave.
So he gets to go into the dark again, say goodbye.
See you, Jet.
Nice knowing you. So Zelga's gonna go to the Dark World, and I bet Zelga's first stop will be Bumper Cave.
Absolutely. Without question. And maybe we'll see him go back into Thieves.
That would be
Maybe.
tremendous. With the small key here, will Zelga go and check the big chest or go straight to blind? Zelga, if they do the right thing, would go check that big chest.
Yeah.
Because you hate having a loose square left behind. 10 arrows from the old man. Gee, thanks.
And with that mirror and hammer, Jet is set up to check all of East Death Mountain. We can do most of Dark Death Mountain. We don't have the hook shots. We can't do all the items in Hookshot Cave, but we can get what's on the floating island. There's a lot of value up here. So,
There's one thing that he can't do in the Tower of Hera,
true.
but because you don't have a key for it, nor do you have a fire source for it. Well, there's your
Just
fire source.
kidding. There's the lamp. They could have actually had that a long time ago. Right off the bat, Link's house, had the flute. Could have just come up here and get it.
Yeah, there's the boots for Zelga.
Gotta go fast. Let's see where Zelga heads from here.
And a bomb jump attempt here for Jet.
Very
Solid.
beautifully done. Wow. That is a really hard bomb jump to do, and that'll save him some time getting to this portal here.
The next minute is going to be brutal here. Very critical minute here coming up here for zelgadissan.
Yeah, this can make or break the race right here. Jet has a little bit of a lead right now, but there's so many items we still need. We need like Hookshot and Fire Rod.
Okay, this
and a bunch
turn
of keys.
is very important. And Zelga's going straight to blind. But no.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh,
No.
no! Oh boy.
The jukes. Juking out the commentary. Heart container. Here in Hera.
Zelga tossing that cape on. Helps a lot in this fight.
Tugging the wall to make sure the timer doesn't. That ensures the beatability and getting the bow out of here. And Jet picking up the Cane of Burna.
All the major items just getting thrown at these guys. You gotta go back in, Zelga. This is the chance of a lifetime for you to go back in. You really need to go back in. You can even use the mirror once you get it.
Gone. Bye, bye, bye. Oh,
no. This ain't good. This ain't good, Rick.
This is not fine. This is not fine. This is not fine.
Got another bomb jump here for Jet, trying to set it up, but instead
And we're
falling
going down
two
2 floors.
Ouch. Well, he
Ladies
has
and
the
gentlemen.
mirror. He's just showing off. That's, I think,
Ladies
what he's
and
really
gentlemen.
going for.
The walk of shame.
It's a pretty sad walk of shame. All these beetles come back, too, when you mirror.
Zelga is gonna go turn in this chest, but this is just painful to watch, knowing what's in that one chest, that big chest in Turtle Rock, rather in Thieves Town.
Yep. It's a real shame. Jet going for attempt number 2.
And don't forget, Zelga beat out 30 runners to make it to this point, going 4-1 in the tournament, and then going, as we got the small key for Ice Palace, which is a nice find because that helps your routing in Ice Palace.
It does, but with it being a pendant, you kind of want to stay out of Ice Palace, at least for now. But as you mentioned earlier, it may be the progression they need to find Fire Rod or Hookshot or whatever. Using that Bombos that Zelga just picked up in Mire Shed.
And we have the Moldorm fight for Jet. Moldorm trying its best, and Zelga's going to go into the... Oh boy. Misery Mire.
Well, this could still be a big play. There's something spicy in here. This could give Zelga a leg up. Especially if you see something like a Misery Mire vanilla key or something. Big key.
Well, that's a possibility. I guess we'll see how this goes. Zelga needs something big to happen at this point to counteract what he's missing out with the lack of the mirror.
Yeah, and after the blind death and just the way things were routed, you know, getting those boots a little bit later, you know, maybe he was thinking other people might check, you know, Jet might check Hype Cave first. You know, he might be feeling behind, so he's making a gamble here, which is a reasonable gamble. Mire has a lot of chests in it, 8 chests. We don't have a fire source, so we can't actually check the left side. Jet could, because he did find that lamp, but Zelga has not made his way up to Spectacle Rock Cave.
Small key for the Palace of Darkness. Do want to point out that there is... Oh, single arrow.
Single arrow.
I do want to point out there is a small key on the floating island.
Okay, well that's available. And we're gonna see what's on this bridge here. The 10 bombs. That's a newly added item into V29, actually.
Why, oh why must you be this way?
There's a small key for pod, so a lot of pod keys up here on Death Mountain for Jet.
And so far, the path to Misery Mire is coming up very empty. And a small key to the Palace of Darkness and that is all Zelga can do. Oh, we got our Aghanim Tower key, though.
We did. That's an interesting place. We have the means to get in
And
there.
powder!
Wow, really nice safety. Gives us access to Magic Bat. It's a pretty quick check, too, if you flute over to Kakariko, but we're going to see more of Death Mountain, I'm sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jet just jumps right into Turtle Rock.
Can I be totally honest at this point? We see the red meringue. Can I be totally honest at this
Sure.
point? The best case scenario for zelgadissan right now is that the hookshot is mirror blocked.
Probably, yeah.
And the reason I say that is because we're going to start running out of options. So Zelga may have to go back into Thieves Town at some point.
And you don't want more locations to be open. There's ether in the
So we
Bog
now
Rock.
have seen all 3 of our medallions.
I think Zelga wants T-Rock to be ether now, I think. Although that might open things up, but Zelga has all the medallions, so that might be a play he'll consider soon.
We do have one chest open to us here in the Hookshot Cave, and it is the map to Eastern. And it was just, I believe, rupees on the Lumberjack here, so that's not required.
Actually, some good news for Zelga. Like, he wants maybe Hookshot to be blocked by Mire as well, because that means that he can't get to, East Death Mountain. He can't get to Hera.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That'll limit a lot more. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
There's a small key to Ganon's tower, so that's one is not as important as the other ones we've seen.
Oh, Zelga's doing this Zora play. He might end up going to Ice Palace too. He might be considering it. That's pendant.
Bombos is the required medallion for Turtle Rock. Oh, 300 inside the waterfall. So if you went up to Zora without the appropriate amount of rupees, you were going to be given them.
And if Zora is holding something fun here, this could pay off big time. Compass on the ledge.
So now the big question comes into play. Where does Zelga go after this? Because Ice Palace is on the table, but you don't have a whole lot of options remaining, and it's a scam.
No good at Zora. I mean, we can go over and finish Eastern. We can go to Palace of Darkness. What else can Zelga really do? I guess Ice. I think it's Ice. Well, this is a place that Jet may not go to for a long time. Oh, it's Hobo. I see.
Yeah, I wanted to check what the item was on the top of the island, on the Lake Hylia Island first.
Very strong routing from Zelga here. Now remember, since we don't have Fire Rod in T-Rock, we cannot do those right to chests. But we could find Fire Rod in Turtle Rock somewhere deep in here. Now, the age-old question, Rick, is do you check the vanilla big key chest? We got 3 keys going into Turtle Rock, so you need 4 to full clear it.
I think Zelga buying a potion right now is very telling of where we're going next.
It's got to be Ice.
It's got to be Ice, yeah. To answer your question, I would not with 1 key at this point. It's so difficult because, oh goodness, you got 2 keys. This gets you to Laser Bridge. You got so many options. There's a Metroid.
Yeah, I love the bunny sprite for Zero Suit Samus. Yeah, Jet's out of there. No, that chest right there will remain unchecked until, maybe we're forced to come back here. Or if Jet finds a small key here in Turtle Rock, then I'm sure he'll come back for it, but probably not happening for a while. Alright, if there is some sort of amazing progression like Hookshot, or Fire Rod, or a big key to Desert Palace, or Misery Mire, or something like that in Ice Palace here, it's gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a big deal. Zelga's making a pretty big risk by going here.
The question is will it pay off? Another big deal is right now is if we have Mimic Cave have something, but that will be something that Zelga at some point will finally have the resources to go and check. By the time they get up here to
Looks like the safety was right there in Ice Palace.
The Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Bombs was inside Mimic Cave, so nothing major there. So we have 6 more chests to check here for Jet.
And if Jet does find the fire rod down here, then he can actually clear the dungeon.
Clear the dungeon and probably head back in to check those 2 chests on the right-hand side.
Absolutely. Only 50 here in the roller room. Zelga's setting up the bomb jump here. Nicely done. These guys don't mess around. They know what they're doing.
That's why they're still playing in this tournament.
Exactly. Gotta watch the health there, Zelga, though. Be careful.
Yeah, I think Zelga was forced to take a bomb, and we get a small key to Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. Shield upgrade. 20 rupees. 1 more chest to check here for Jet. Ouch. Only 100. This is not really paid off for Jet. And
Fire Rod!
Wow. Unbelievable.
So the item that Jet is looking for, Zelga just found.
That is a big deal. The question is, when will Jet head there? I don't know. I feel like that's one of the last places he's going with all the stuff he can do.
Yeah, Zelga's setting up for the bomb jump in here. So we have 1 counter to the whole Zelga doesn't have a mirror story. But the big question is, when does Zelga go back into to Thieves Town? When does Jet go into ice?
Well, Jet's gonna be using that powder he found, and check the magic bat. Not a bad play here. Another thing that we can do is we can check the first chest in Swamp. Like, I wonder if Zelga would do that before going back to Thieves.
Mushroom!
Well, Zelga can do his magic bat trick. It won't pay off in this run, but...
Do you want to fetch quest?
Absolutely. I would love a fetch quest.
Not just any kind of fetch quest. Big key for Skullwoods!
Well, you wanted a fetch quest? There's a fetch quest for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting people who are hating on me for my singing. I love you guys.
Alright, we're off to Cold Stare. Or no, I guess since he bomb jumped, he's gonna go check the Ice Tea chest and then head to Cold Stare.
There's Ether, which we know is not required this seed.
Completely not required. Could be useful maybe in a couple rooms in GT or whatever, but I don't think these guys will go for it.
And here's the thing, we do not know if Skullwoods is required at this point, because that is one of the 2 dungeons that we have no clue about, whether or not it's that or Eastern is our 3rd and final pendant.
But you gotta think, now that Zelga's found the fire rod, Zelga's gonna go immediately to Skullwoods. Because Zelga can't go to TR right now. Zelga cannot get to Turtle Rock. Does not have the mirror or the hookshot.
Yeah, which would be the worst case scenario here for Zelga is if we find the hookshot. Again, I think this is the only thing that keeps Zelga in this in regards to finding the mirror is the location of the hookshot.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that we haven't seen it yet is promising for Zelga.
Just to answer chat, the mirror turned out to be in the big chest inside of Thieves Town. Jet had explored Hype Cave, got the small key out of there before going in. Zelga waited until after Thieves Town to get it, which is why only one of these runners has it.
Zelga now on Cold Stare. We got 7 hearts. Haven't seen any mail upgrades yet, so these fights can be pretty rough. But got Bombos. Ouch!
Ooh.
Takes a hit there.
Yeah, bad timing.
But this is why Zelga bought all those potions. This is the chance to use them.
Gonna have to use it. You want to stay alive for this. This is a painful trip if this is anything that is remotely close to important. Nice finish.
Well done. And a small
And
key
it's a
as
small
reward.
key for Castle Tower. So there's the second of the Castle Tower keys.
Interesting. Jet doing all this Zora area. We know it's not gonna be worth it. Gonna get a little bit of a refund here, but nothing more.
Yeah. Little is really implying what we're getting out of this.
And Zelga's gonna take that Aga Tower key and head straight to Aga Tower right now. I think the other one was up in Death Mountain, East Death Mountain, so
Yeah.
Zelga doesn't even have access to that, so both of them can actually check both of the chests in Aga Tower. Now Jet is going to 4 here, maybe a swamp play?
Interesting. Or I think this could be an Eastern play.
There's the blue mail in Aghanim's Tower. Very nice find for Zelga. Would have been nice to find that before beating Cold Stare, but you had to beat Cold Stare to get the Aga Tower key.
And here's our reminder that Zelga is doing this without the fire or without the lamp. And we get both mail upgrades are in. Get Aghanim's Tower.
Oh.
Wow,
That's great. Oh, man.
So we didn't find any mail upgrades there, Alucard?
Oh, not until Zelga got all of them.
That's awesome game. That's awesome, and Jet's going to be picking up these mail upgrades as well.
Yeah, here he goes. And interesting that they're getting it at the same time. Yeah, we're seeing the magic bat glitch, and then we'll likely see that mushroom turned in, which could be pretty interesting too.
So welcome to Aghanim's clothing store.
You know, you can see that Zero Suit Samus orange suit for just a little bit. Want to check out some of the cool sprite changes, but it's gone. Before you know it.
Thank you for shopping Aghanim's clothing emporium. Please remember to get your parking validated before you leave.
Alright, mushroom check for zelgadissan, while Jet, I think, intends to go to Pod and probably finish up Eastern.
And inside the potion shop, we have 20 unbearable rupees.
Jet with a quick stop here to check Hobo. Really nice routing for that. I love that location to Mire.
Meanwhile, Zelga is heading somewhere. I believe we're heading to Eastern.
Without the mirror, Zelga can't, go to Pod and then Mire to Eastern. So this seems like the logical play to go here first because you know you can full clear it.
And all you have to do is just go right straight to the big chest, open that up, and then head right straight to the Armos Knights.
Maybe that big chest will jog Zelga's memory that there was another big chest that wasn't opened.
We've been saying this for a better part of 30 minutes now, that the worst thing for Zelga to find at this point would be the hookshot.
Yeah, I think Zelga wants hookshot to be on Trinex. I think, like, actually, that's what Zelga wants. I don't know if that's necessarily possible, though, based on... Where was Fire Rod? It was in the Freezor room, I believe?
Yes, Freezor room.
Okay, so hookshot wasn't required to get that.
Thank you for your 50 rupees.
And this is going to be interesting to see if Eastern is the last pendant or the last crystal. We're going to get some information out of this.
That's right, because it's either this or Skull Woods.
And zelgadissan does have the ability to clear both of these dungeons, so it's a pretty big deal.
So we know that Jet at some point in time is going to have to make their way into Ice Palace. Zelga is going to have to make their way back into Thieves Town at some point. Here's hoping that Zelga will do it when they clear out the remainder of Skull Woods.
Well, Jet's going to be running out of options here pretty quickly. I mean, it appears like he's going to go into Pod, and then he could maybe go back to Misery Mire if he wants. But other than that, it's just ice. He's exhausted a lot of his options. Only a few left.
And it's just a piece of heart here. And it is the other pendant. And Zelga looking for a mirror to mirror out of here before catching the pendant. Oh, wait. We don't have one. So that fire rod will be required for Skull Woods as well.
Wow.
And so while Jet goes ahead and picks up the piece of heart and then sees the pendant falling on down, special thanks to all the people who've sent in their subs and other various supports here to the Speed Gaming family of channels.
Absolutely. But I think both of these players are going to Pod now. Palace of Darkness, what will you hold? Now, interestingly, zelgadissan has not picked up the lamp in Spectacle Rock Cave, so this is going to be all in the dark.
Oh, the Tempered Sword.
Nice find.
Both runners are going to really love that item.
Saving a key on that front door makes a lot of sense here.
Much easier to do when you have the bow in your hands.
Now the question is, you know, what will they decide to do? Are they going to try to... Oh, we don't have the big key.
Yeah, this is not a completable dungeon. And this is also for the green pendant.
It is. Ten arrows here on the bow side.
Oh, let's see what we can dig up here.
I'm hoping for some dreams. What do you guys want to see at the shovel spot? What do you want to see, Rick?
Well, we get the small key for Swamp.
Oh, big deal there. That is going to open some stuff up for Jet. Now, still doesn't have the hook shot to finish it. That's still a bunch of chests.
That opens up what? That opens up at this point 4 chests.
5 because of the front chest as well. I
Oh,
believe.
right. Yes, that's correct. 5 chests right now that opens up.
Well, and I think we have the big key too.
Our tracker says no. Actually, yes. Our tracker does say yes. That's right. We did find Swamp earlier.
6 chests, not bad.
So 6 chests in there.
Alright, there's that swamp small key for Zelga, but Zelga won't be able to use that until he goes back to Thieves Town to get that mirror. Which, you know, another blessing in disguise. You can just leave Swamp alone. Maybe go mode it.
And we get synchronicity on the map to Skull Woods, which we know is now for Crystal. And synchronized heart pickups. And pieces of hearts.
Now, how will Jet use keys here? It looks like he's gonna unlock this Harmless Hellway and see what's here. And Zelga's doing the same. Wow. This guy's making very similar decisions. Jet now going to set up the bomb jump. Saves himself a key.
A key that Zelga right now doesn't have.
That's right. But Zelga can still do the bomb jump and head in here for 2 chests.
Gonna be a harder time for Zelga only because of the lamp situation.
How crazy is it after 1 hour and 6 minutes and all these divergent paths? Jet went to T-Rock, Zelga went to Ice Palace. We're in the same room!
Small
crazy.
key for Turtle Rock. Hello,
Ooh.
big key chest. And an arrow upgrade.
Alright. That's it for Pod. We're out of
And
here.
that's all she wrote. I believe Zelda ended up getting that chest as well. Didn't see it pop up. Anyways, we are done in here. And Jet, where's Jet up to now?
Ice Palace.
Ice
He's going
Palace.
for it. Wow.
So instead of going to Swamp, where we had noted the lucrative amount of keys, or the chest rather, we're making the play for Ice Palace. So Zelga is up here checking the old man. We'll check Spectacle Rock. The lamp is a nice find, but it's not what they need. It's not what he needs at all.
With that lamp, I mean, Zelga can actually clear desert right now. He can do it with the fire rod too. So that's
We haven't
something-
found the big key yet.
Oh, you're right. We haven't found the big key, but he might go in. You're right. Can't get to Hera. He can't get to Turtle Rock, which is generally good for him. He's running out of places. He may have to come back to that Thieves Town chest to even get anywhere. Which is really good for him. But meantime, Jet is on the way to that fire rod. He's almost got it.
And there's Zelga sees the lamp, and we'll opt to go ahead and pick that up.
I don't think anybody's been in Spike Cave either, right?
No, and I think that's where Zelga may go after this as well.
So that'll be something new and interesting.
But we're not going to get the Spike Cave check. And Zelga, where are we going to go to next? I think the choice has to be head on over towards Skull Woods. Maybe get over to Thieves Town afterwards. Well, we're going to check this shovel first.
Makes a lot of sense.
Get your
Just
bets
found
in the chat. Well, what do you think that this shovel is going to dig up?
I want to see its shield upgrade.
There's only one left. Bombs! No!
No luck here.
Time to head back to the village. Zelga's not going to go to Thieves Town. But
Oh, it's
we'll
definitely
go to
Skullwoods. It's definitely Skullwoods, without question. I'm actually surprised he didn't head there immediately after jumping into Ice Palace and finding that, but at the same time, you know, going through Pod, you know, there's a lot of chests in there. Still looking for some important big keys. Misery Mire, Desert Palace, Ganon's Tower.
It's unbelievable how many big keys we're still missing at this point that are required.
And here's that big chest in Skull Woods. Just
Palace
another
small
pod.
key.
Wow.
And that will be the last one, by the way.
Okay.
So we got 2 more items left here in the Skull Woods, as Jet is about 10 seconds away from getting that fire rod.
That's right. Gotta wait out this whole animation, but here it is. I'm sure he's really excited to see that.
And Jet, you don't have the big key. Something is missing.
Oh man, wouldn't it be crazy if we have to come back for that?
Wouldn't be the first person that has to come back for a big chest.
That's right. Zelga reading the situation carefully, barely dodging the master hand there. He's got the keys he needs for this Mothula fight, and we know for sure this is required. This is a crystal. 4 slashes with the Temper Sword should take out Mothula.
Yeah, the question is can you get the 4 slashes you need? Wow, that was an impressive fight there for Zelga.
That was a super clean and amazing fight, and he is well rewarded with that green rupee.
Nice bounty. So we're gonna go back in. We still gotta get this chest here in the bottom.
I like the routing here from Zelga, because you do the boss, you get sent back to the beginning, you get this chest, and then you just save and quit out of here. Just peace out. And we're gonna see a cold stare fight from Jet.
Oh, there's the hook shot! Oh no!
Wow. Well, I know where Zelga's going. I think we're going up to the mountain, and we're going to Turtle Rock.
That right there continues this bad, unfortunate luck here that Zelga's had this seed. That the big chest in Thieves Town had something important, and Zelga didn't get the small key until after his first trip there. And Zelga had the chance. He had the chance to correct it, but unfortunately opted to just go right straight to blind after the death.
Exactly. And you know Jet's going to Skullwoods right now. You gotta think he's going there immediately. Because he knows it's a crystal he can complete. Oh, well, I guess we're gonna turn in that mushroom first. That makes sense.
Then fine, he's not going to Skullwoods next.
I'm sure he will. It's a very logical play. I doubt he'd go up to T-Rock first.
But this isn't Skullwoods.
We're getting there, Rick.
Now we're going to Skullwoods.
Or not.
No, we're not.
What is happening? He's doing all the fetch quests. Oh my god.
Are these guys listening to us? Are they trying to prove us wrong?
I had to check the call to see if they were in here. I think if they were, we'd know zelgadissan would not be where he is right now.
Now go to 3.
There it is. All right, with hookshot and hammer, zelgadissan can head to Hera and check ether. I imagine Jet will be stopping off at this big chest.
Yep, we're gonna get that key for the Turtle Rock at this point, and Jet will go, yay, this is exactly what I needed.
Well, that might be his next stop, honestly.
Once he gets to the hookshot, he's got 2 options.
Yeah.
Go to Swamp or go to Turtle Rock. And I actually think Jet would go to Swamp first.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot more sense. It's a crystal dungeon that you can get a lot of items in. That's true.
It's a dungeon that you can get everything out of at this point, and we are still so many items away from go mode at this point.
Yeah, he'll be in item go mode, but he needs keys. He needs big keys. That's
yeah,
we
are still lacking the Desert Big Key. We're still lacking the Misery Mire Big Key, plus the Ganon's Tower Big Key. It's going to come down to keys. Which one's going to be the key? We'll stay tuned and find out.
And there can be some trolley fetch quests along the way, like Ice Palace Big Key could turn up somewhere. We could see Pod Big Key turn up somewhere. Maybe Sahasrara becomes a play that these guys have to make. There's still plenty of game left, but Jet is in a good position right now.
Are you trying to torture our runners?
Absolutely. Are you not? I mean, I want this match to just be a straightforward, good thing.
Well, you got to remember, the winner of this match has to take on one of the best in Randomizer in the next round in a best of 3.
Absolutely. But, I mean, these guys are here. They're the best of the best in Randomizer, as far as Keysanity is concerned. So, I mean, these guys are awesome. They've been giving us a good show. I mean, despite Zelga missing that mirror, he's made a lot of progress and made some really amazing plays.
And the thing is, Zelga can now finish off, well, the number of keys suggest to be otherwise, but Zelga is going to head in the direction of East Death Mountain. And we are going to get our first check soon of what is in Hookshot Cave.
Speaking of hookshot, there's the hookshot for Jet. That will make Hookshot Cave available as well. So that's kind of an interesting place for things to be.
So as you mentioned earlier, that fire rod was not hookshot blocked. We're going to get a check of the pedestal. And as we remember from earlier, it's just couch cash.
Zelga seems to want to head into the dark world here. Probably going to open up that T-Rock portal.
And of course, Jet's proving me wrong. We're heading straight up.
Well, you get Hookshot Cave as well. It's not too bad. And completing Turtle Rock does also open up the Pyramid Fairy as an option.
Good point, yes. And that's probably why we're routing it this way.
And if you find everything you need, because Jet's getting kind of close. I mean, still a few big keys away, but getting kind of close. If he finds everything he needs, then he can go mode Swamp. And that's a big deal, too.
How often can you go mode swamp in Keysanity?
Not very. Might be seeing the hookshot cave check here from zelgadissan first, as Jet is going to literally jet through Turtle Rock. He has checked everything except Trinex.
Also the right
and
side.
the vanilla big key chest. Yeah. Vanilla.
Right side.
Oh, the right side. Good call. I forgot about this. Maybe this has some value too. So where were the other small keys for Turtle Rock? If Zelga's at 2,
there's a
gonna
big
have a hard
key
time.
for Misery Mire.
Wow. Okay.
One of the keys turned out to be in the cave south of the Haunted Grove, which is called Cave 45.
Ah, okay.
There's a big key for Dark Palace.
Ugh. That might be good. It might be pretty bad too.
Oh look, here's the compass to Turtle Rock. Now, you know, Jack can also check the vanilla big key location, as you mentioned before, because he's got 2 keys. He can now use one of those.
Yeah, he's found all the keys for Turtle Rock. There are 4 keys that you can find for Turtle Rock to full clear it. This is what Rick was saying earlier. If Zelga finds that hook shot, it's just leading him further and further away from that mirror.
Yeah, right now, Thieves Town Big Chest becomes even more of a loose square.
Yeah, that's like one of the last... Like, he'd do that before Ice Palace Big Chest, maybe, but... Like, that's about it.
Well, thankfully for Zelga, the vanilla big key chest is 20 rupees.
That is good news for Zelga. But he still won't even be able to finish this. I thought that might be a nice little advantage that he has. At least he does get the Misery Mire big key, so I imagine we'll be seeing him go there next.
Yeah, that's also a possible spot. And now with a fire source, Zelga can go ahead and check the 2 chests on the left-hand side, plus the big chest. And for those who are commenting about K45, we'll call it by what we should really be calling it, the Haunted Grove.
Yep, the cave south of Haunted Grove where you got a mirror there. There's a Turtle Rock small key there. It's pretty important.
Well, that was a nice attempt to boot the block, but went just a little too far.
Still manages to squeeze by these chain chomps. He's off. Alright, all Jet has to do here in Turtle Rock is beat Trinex now.
And this is new information to all of us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's here. Still looking for Desert Palace big key, Ganon's Tower big key for Jet. And I imagine Jet will head over to Hookshot Cave right after this.
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. Probably also check Spike Cave also over in the area.
Yeah, why not? Good call. Still haven't seen that.
This is what Keysanity does. It penalizes you for missing loose squares more than your normal modes would.
Absolutely. But in the same vein, you know, you can skip a bunch of
Small
things, and maybe it pays off because there's more like compasses and maps and things that aren't necessarily required. Yeah, maps are nice, but you know, those things can be skipped as well and can save you a lot of time, which Zelga here is clearly hoping for.
So the good news for Zelga at this point, Zelga can make it down to the laser bridge. The bad
Yep.
news, Zelga cannot finish this dungeon.
Yep, it will be the same situation as Jet when he first came in here.
And here we go, Spike Cave.
All right. And that'll set up a nice save and quit, and then I'm sure Jet will be off to Mire.
Mire or Swamp.
True. Either of them are available.
Wait a second. Jet did not check Hookshot Cave.
Well, if something is in that pod big chest, or at Helmasaur King, or Sahasrara, then Jet has left something very important behind. This is Zelga's chance here to catch back up if Jet forgets that Hookshot Cave even exists.
So, So Jet is going to be heading on down. We're going to go through Swamp. Now, this is also interesting by the aspect that Jet did not check Pyramid Fairy. But then again,
he could route that after this, maybe. That might be a little more efficient.
But then again, did Jet ever check the, find out what the Hera crystal was?
Well, he has it. So hopefully
Yeah,
he
has
knows. Like, if he's looked at his inventory and seen 2 red pendants, I guess he'd just have to have looked at that, like, just now. But if he might know. Might not.
We have ourselves a small key to Hyrule Castle, which we know completely useless.
Absolute garbage. We see Zelga here heading over to get his map in Spike Cave. Second chest in Swamp is...
Oh, there's your map to the Palace of Darkness.
We've been told multiple times by Sahasrara that that's the green pendant.
So that was the Tower of Hera map that was in the Spike Cave, by the way. And Zelga heading... Where are we going to next? Misery Mire.
Makes perfect sense. It's a crystal you have to do. Just got the big key. You got a fire source. Let's knock all this stuff out. And Zelga's probably wondering, where in the world is this mirror? You gotta be going nuts worrying about this thing right now. And we know it's in the big chest in Thieves Town. Sitting there, waiting for him.
We have an arrow upgrade. Not what Jet needs to see at this time.
Looks like Jet will be doing the west wing of Swamp. Still plenty of stuff to look for. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we have a big chance to look here for Zelga. It's a big key to Desert!
Ooh, okay. We know his next stop. And I believe Desert had one of the Turtle Rock small keys as well.
Yeah, that would actually make it beatable for Zelga. So the thing is, Zelga cannot go straight Mire to Desert. Would have to go back to the Light World by saving quit. But it's now a completable dungeon.
And that actually does open up Pyramid Fairy for Zelga as an available option eventually.
A small key for Ganon's Tower, as if you need another small key for that. So now we have the big key for Ganon's Tower as the last big key to go mode.
Yep.
What
That
is
looming
this?
big key?
What is this with me and that big key being the go mode item?
Well, it usually is, to be fair, in all of our past tournaments.
Like the one seed I did a couple of weeks ago, big key turned out to be on the ether tablet with the book in Ganon's tower.
Well, maybe we'll... Well, we won't see that. But we could see, you know, Ice Palace Big Key in Ganon's tower. Oh, that would be painful. But that could be possible.
That would be brutal. There's a big key. There's Ganon's tower.
Wow. Okay. Well, Jet is set up for success here.
We are
you
now
gotta think
in
he's going to Mire
commentary.
Yeah,
We are now in commentary no mode.
absolutely. That could have been a lot worse. That could have been in the pod big chest.
Yeah,
And-
that was going to be pretty much one of Zelga's last big. It would have been one of the last prayers here for Zelga at that point. But now Jet, after this, will head to Misery Mire. Silver arrows!
Wow! Swamp paying off here. Jet's still searching for that Desert Palace big key, so that's why he's checking all these chests. That is a really nice find. It'll make Vitreous free.
It will. And not that it's going to be a difficult fight here for Zelga with the tempered sword, but it's going to be so much easier for Jet. All you need to do is launch off, 10 arrows, silver arrows, if your aim is perfect. Looks like Zelga's having some issues here trying to set up the spins.
Yeah, if you damage boost yourself off the goo there, then, you know, you can get some iframes so you can spin through all the little eyes there on one side or the other. But he's getting through it fine, busts out the bow, knocks 8 arrows into Vitreous here. Meanwhile, Jet smashes Argus.
If Jet goes to Misery Mire, that is it. And we find the final of the Palace of Darkness keys.
I would be shocked if he goes anywhere but Misery Mire. So maybe
Yeah.
he'll do Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, he's going Pyramid Fairy first.
Wow.
Wow. So Zelga now, the next decision. The time is really ticking here for Zelga.
But he's going to Desert. He's absolutely going to Desert. But he has to save and quit. No mirror. Save and quit, and then enter with the book.
It's amazing that something at the 30-minute mark of this run turned this seed upside down. And if you love Keysanity, don't forget, coming up tomorrow at 11 o'clock is the final of the 4 quarterfinal matches here in this round. Problems IRL versus Pika Pals. That's 11 o'clock. Channel still to be determined, but it will be on one of these speed gaming channels.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that one. Winner of this match will face Christos Owen. Winner of the match tomorrow will face Andy in the semis.
We still have a chance of having a Andy Christos final. Time Eastern Daylight Time, by the way.
Chance for revenge from AGDQ for Christos there. All right, Jets off to Misery Mire. This is it.
He is a big chest away from go mode.
Absolutely. And he hasn't stepped a foot in here yet. So his routing has paid off so much. We're only 1 hour, 34 minutes in. And Jet is about to complete the second to last crystal.
Yeah, and then he can mirror to finish his last.
So convenient.
We're going to be talking a sub 2 in this case.
Absolutely. And he won't need to do any searching in Ganon's tower.
Jez is going to check the left-hand side.
Meanwhile, we see Zelga almost at Land Molus, so actually see what's there. I don't really know what can be there at this point that would be of interest.
Only thing it could really be would be the butter sword. That really is the only thing at this point. Maybe the bug catching net if you want yourself at extra safeties, but there really is nothing else available in this game.
Just one more bottle. That's about it. Yeah.
We already know where that bottle is.
Oh, you're right. It's in the library.
And I ain't going back for that.
All right. Land Molus fight for zelgadissan here. We'll see how it goes. Having a little trouble, but got him down. Looks like in the second round.
Yeah,
Very
Tempered
nice.
Sword's going to make this look super easy. 50 rupees the prize. Get the crystal. But then the problem continues. You still are missing that mirror.
Yeah. I'm really curious where zelgadissan's going to go next. Maybe Pyramid Fairy? What else does zelgadissan have left? Thieves Town, Big Chest, and Pyramid Fairy is all I can think of. Oh, back to TR, I guess is the other option.
Oh no.
Oh, there's this option!
Alice of Darkness.
Oh! Brutal. I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. But at 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 42 seconds, jet082, the first of these two runners in
Go mode! He's off to Vitreous. He's feeling pretty good right now. He'll be able to finish Vitreous off. He'll mirror to Desert, clean up Land Molus, and then he'll just be jetting up the Death Mountain and up the tower. Doesn't have to do anything. Won't even bother checking that hookshot cave he skipped.
Yeah, we now know that that is not important. And again, it came down to one missed chest. And it wasn't Zelga's fault for missing that chest. It was just the way the routing worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And that plays a big role in Keysanity.
Chat's wondering why we would clean the Land Molus. They'll just go back underneath the ground and get dirty again.
I don't know, man. You gotta clean your Land Molus at least once a day.
Just as long as you don't feed it after midnight. And here's the power of the silver arrows for Jet. 2 of them to the eye of Vitreous. Time to head to Desert.
And we're seeing zelgadissan off to beat up Helmasaur King. It'll be convenient for him. He can turn in that green pendant. He'll probably also go for the big chest here, but none of this will be really worthwhile. Sadly.
Yeah, it's tough again. We mentioned it before, the whole thing about that one chest, but this is what Keysanity does. And Zelga's had a very decent run outside of the one fight against Blind. It's just unfortunate once again that the chest that Zelga missed in that dungeon turned out to be important. But fantastic run here for a runner who beat all the odds to defeat 29 other runners in the play-in race.
Absolutely. He's been playing phenomenally. Like, if the mirror was still an outstanding item, like, he's probably made a lot of good moves. Like, that Ice Palace play was huge. That was a big deal. Alright, here's the Helmastore fight as Jet goes through that wall-moving cutscene and is off to fight Land Molus.
What's going through Jet's mind at this point, at an hour 40, knowing who your opponent is?
I mean, I think you just gotta play your best game at this point. And I think he has been playing an exceptional game. I think the only thing that really went wrong for him, maybe, was the Turtle Rock thing. That wasn't even that bad. I mean, he got a bunch of stuff up on Death Mountain. Found the lamp. Found a bunch of keys.
Compass for Ganon's Tower and the green pennant for Zelga. And now Jet with a ceremonial walk up Death Mountain to head to face off against more Land Moldas. And some pig as well.
He also managed to get those boots pretty much as quickly as possible.
Yeah, getting the boots when Jet did was huge. I think the answer to the question in chat regarding the arrows, I don't think Jet wanted to use the arrows because he only got 15 of them at this point, and if you have bad round against the Land Mollas, you might find yourself short when you come up to the Mimics coming up.
Absolutely, and you know, having arrows going up the tower is also nice in some of the gauntlet. Seeing another bomb jump here from zelgadissan. Has the key, but this is faster if he gets it on the first try.
You know something else that would be nice? Well, there's the mirror shield.
That would be nice.
That was nice. I was going to say half magic.
Oh yeah, haven't seen half magic. I bet a bunch of stuff is up in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, it's probably hidden behind the ice armors.
Well, we're not going to be seeing them today.
Darn!
Sorry, Rick, I know that's your favorite boss, but Jet is about to be in Ganon's tower. He's got the big key. He's just going to be racing up, and this will be over pretty soon. You're going to see Sahasrahla.
There's the butter!
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Well, Pod equipped you well. It had a sword inside. There was butter on Sahasrahla. There's a riot shield in there. Not bad. Is this the Thieves Town play? This might be the Thieves Town play.
I think this has to be the Thieves Town play at this point. Zelga is out of options. Except for going back to Turtle Rock, and I don't think Zelga wants to go back to Turtle Rock. Oh, what do you think is going to be the reaction when Zelga finds the mirror here?
Hopefully we'll use it. I don't. But
are we going to see sword slashes?
We might see a few sword slashes.
Are we going to see a fire rod frustration, quake usage?
Maybe we'll just spam the mirror somewhere.
Too bad we won't even hear it.
I mean, this is the top 8. These guys are gonna keep their head on and probably keep trucking.
Until you see the dot done. But once Zelga sees the dot done coming up here, even after getting this mirror, we'll know exactly what happened, how this race was lost.
Absolutely.
I just want to remind you that these are phenomenal players in this mode and other various modes of Link to the Past Randomizer. So the gap here between the two isn't a telling of their talent.
No, we saw zelgadissan do exceptional, execution-wise, and a lot of the routing is a lot of randomizer comes down to the decisions you make. And skipping over the Thieves Town big chest.
In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, no.
Yep. There it is. The Cane of Samaria flashes on the big chest.
As Jet uses them to take out the Wizrobes, climbing up Ganon's tower.
Now time to go to Swamp Zelga, get this seed finished up. And I will tell you that, you know, you see Zelga here behind. Zelga's only, what, about 10 minutes behind at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Needs to finish Swamp, needs to finish Turtle Rock, but actually is in go mode.
That's right, Turtle Rock too. So yeah, make it maybe about 12 minutes then.
Well, actually needs the Ganon's Tower big key. Okay,
but
not in go mode.
But
so
yeah, he's gonna
find
get that.
Here.
Yeah, he's gonna get that real fast though.
Probably will miss the silver arrows. Jet grabbing the magic and not even looking at any of these chests here. Spin and a slash with Tempered Sword takes out Moldorm 2, and Jet is out of here.
No need to check that chest. It's time to go. You still have to believe that your opponent is right behind you or ahead of you at this point, that you're tight against them. You have no reason to believe that you have as big of a cushion as Jet does.
Yeah, these guys these guys have no clue where their opponent is. And we know that Jet has
nice
an
setup.
amazing Aga pattern. I think he only got 2 in, though.
Yeah, I think because the two of them were right next to each other, he could only get that. But beautiful!
Oh,
no, that was a triple! That was a
triple! Wow! The double triple from jet082. Phenomenal fight.
Wow. Okay, so it looked like both of them were simultaneous. It turned out not simultaneous enough. The double triple there from Jet. Jet's feeling it now.
Zelgadissan almost about to get that Ganon's Tower big key as we see Jet finish up Ganon's Tower, and there it is.
There it is. And Zelga now in go mode at 1 hour 47, so about 15 minutes after Jet was in go mode.
Nice position for Ganon here in the corner.
Yep. As we go to stage 2, perfect setup here. Just going to have to get him in that one cycle. Use your hook shot to save yourself from the fire bats. Beautifully done.
And we're seeing Zelga skipping silvers here. He's not going to bother checking any other chests.
Yeah, it's got absolutely no reason to, and knows because of that mirror placement. Got to be feeling like 99% certain that he's behind at this point, and he will get confirmation about that if Ganon stops warping.
It's a big if, Rick. I don't know. There we go.
Stage 4. Did you find the arrows in Swamp Palace? Of course you did. Here you go. Thank you. Nice.
That was a great refreeze there.
Yep, and he's going to get him right there. Perfectly done. Jet is now done and moving on to the tournament, to the semifinals.
Congratulations to jet082. He will be moving on to the semifinals to face Christos Owen, and he is finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 41 seconds. GG to Jet.
And with that, we say goodbye to zelgadissan. But a fantastic run for them here in this tournament. Just faced off against Dargus, finished him up. Let's get a big GG in the chat for jet082, and we'll get him into conversation with us in just a moment. And also stay tuned coming up here on Speed Gaming in about 38 minutes from now. We're going to have a Super Metroid, their random category, their multi-category, their multi-category tournament, which has been a phenomenal tournament. And they've got a race coming up at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time, so stay tuned for that. That's coming up in about 40 minutes from now.
Yeah, that's a really fascinating tournament. You know, these players have to know all these different categories and be able to tackle them, and it's thrown randomly every time.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is they have no clue until the race is about to begin what they have to do.
Exactly. I mean, they may have been practiced in any percent, 100%, you know, whatever it is, but it's crazy. And bingo's on there. That's always fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third to be in the semifinals, jet082. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, GG Jet. Well played. That was an excellent run from you.
So you noticed in the IRC, Zelga mentioned about missing the mirror, and you mentioning that you had it early on. You want to know the one thing that really changed the tone of this race? The fact that you went to Hype Cave first.
Yeah, Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Hype Cave. Wait, what did I get in Hype? I thought it was Cave. Was there something?
There was a small key for
Thieves,
Thieves Town in Hype Cave as well.
The cape was huge because it got you the boots early. And that small key is what got you the mirror, and that plagued Zelga throughout the entire run.
That early game, like, it was just everything was just poured. I'm like, there's so many places to go, and one of the first places I like to go when I have Dark World access, if I have the hammer, is to hit up Hype Cave, just because it's 5 quick items. And I knew I could do Thieves, but I'm like, it would be really nice if I can get Thieves small key first. And then getting that there, I'm like, all right, guess we're going to Thieves then. I completely forgot that it was in the big chest there. I was just glad to get progression and be able to like route everything together.
And how about that bow drop from Blind?
That was so generous. I didn't expect to see Bo that early. You like go forever seeing Bo typically. It's just so weird. But like I was worried. Honestly, I was running out of places to go for that desert big key. And I did end up doing a double dip of TR. Pod I don't think had anything in it, and I ended up, wasting time on that.
Just swords.
Well, that is useful. But no, it was just in the first chest, though, wasn't it? Temper was in the left.
Tempered sword was in the chest. It turned out, what we found out from Zelga is the butter sword was the green pendant award.
Oh, wow! Sahash really giving out swords. So like I was worried about that. So in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm not. I can't assume I'm ahead at all. I didn't feel like I did anything to pull ahead. So like, just go fast. And like I'm doing Fat Fairy, left-hand side swamp. I'm like, what if my opponent skipped these things and they ended up not being worth? Because you never know what your opponent might gamble.
Well, your opponent definitely made an amazing gamble into Ice Palace fairly early on. And
yeah, that was the progression. I was struggling to figure out where the heck, like I said, going in the pod, getting nothing. Catfish, even the whole Zora area. I'm like, where the heck? Just missing Fire Rod and Hookshot. Of course, Hookshot was behind Fire Rod. But I'm like, let's just go to Ice, because I'm like, I don't know, we can beat Ice, let's go do Ice. And there was Fire Rod. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. By the way, just want to shout out to Smokey the Bandit, who just resubbed with the comment, GG Jet.
Oh, thanks.
Speaking of Hookshot, you skipped Hookshot Cave. Was that intentional?
Oh! My chat told me that as soon as I pulled them off emote only mode. It's funny because we were joking about it yesterday, because I did the same thing where like I put off Hookshot Cave, like I completely forgot to do it, and I opted to do other things first. And so like right before the race, like, don't forget Hookshot Cave. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool, huh? And then I did it. I thought I did it because I went in there and checked the bonk chest, so I actually mentally marked it off. So if there was anything in those back 3 chests, like I would have been sitting looking at my map until eventually I would have realized it. It would have been bad.
Pod Big Key was in there, which allowed Zelga to go on a quest for the big chest, which had the riot shield,
Oh my
and
god.
Sahasrara, which had a sword upgrade. So,
You know, I was so
blessing
worried
in
about that
disguise.
pod big key. When looking for desert, I'm like, I'm gonna get that stupid pod big key. I'm gonna have to backtrack over there. And thankfully I got the desert big key first, but oh my gosh.
There's also
Well,
Ice
just be-
Palace Big Key on the
Yeah,
table, too.
I was just gonna say, just be glad we didn't find the Ice Palace Big Key.
Oh, you know, that was sitting there like like I have it on my tracker that one's not checked. Just waiting for that to pop up. But I'm guessing the same thing happened to Zelga if he missed Mire, just having that Thieves big chest just sitting there, like you never know if that could be
Yeah.
it.
And here's the strange thing: Zelga ended up doing a double take before going to blind. Thought about it and then said no, because Zelga died to blind the first go around, and then came back after
Oh.
getting the cape and the small key. So we were thinking that was going to be a blessing in disguise, and then no.
Yeah, you had to kill blind and also check that big chest. So there was no way to avoid that small key. You really needed, because sometimes if Thieves is a pendant, you could technically steal a key to check that chest down there, and it's really goofy to do that. But I mean, it's something someone could do. But here, it's like you had to kill blind, you had to get that big chest. Absolutely need that small key.
And it was amazing. It opened up so many options for you.
I don't know what to do with myself. There was so much to do. I'm like, let's just clear all the things. Like, the only overworld I missed was, of course, me being Stoops after the fact, is Hookshot Cave. But I was looking at just dungeons at the end. There was nothing else for me.
Well, you had routed so beautifully that I think you would hit up the overworld in such a good way. Like, you didn't need to worry about it at that point.
Right.
So an amazing run here for you, Jet. A great time of 1 hour 48:40. Your reward, Christos Owen,
I'm looking forward to it.
and a
I've
Christos
been racing
Owen.
Christos for a while. Like, well, I mean, Alu can tell you about that. We have a few impromptu matches way back in version 6, maybe.
And not only Christos Owen, and a best of 3.
Yes, I'm so glad. I mean, this whole single elimination thing has been pretty stressful. I'm actually glad to go to a best of 3. I feel like I can relax a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you can relax, because this is going to be the semifinals of the tournament.
I can relax facing Christos.
Semifinals of the tournament, relax against Christos. Sounds
So congratulations. Congratulations, Jet. For winning
Thank
this
you.
single match here in the quarterfinals, you get at least 4 more games of Keysanity.
I like Keysanity is my favorite random mode, so I'm glad. I want Keysanity all the time, every time.
Because don't forget, we also have the bronze match also now.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
good call.
By the way, so people were asking about it as Zelga goes up against Moldorm 2. Triple, double triple
Yes.
on Aga 2.
It felt so good. I mean, I didn't honestly expect the first one to actually be a triple. 'Cause
Yeah.
it sounded like a
Overshelling
double.
the chest.
And then, like, I just did he just set himself up. I mean, the second setup wasn't that good, but I'm like, I worked with it, got the triple, and then he's done. I'm like, nice. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't usually get the triple, the double triple, but
We were thinking that was a double just because of the both of them being at the same place. We thought it was going to count as 1, not 2.
yeah. Oh, it's goofy. I don't understand the hitbox detection to the Ganon fight. Like, it has no sound, but it counts. Sometimes it makes a sound and it doesn't count. I don't know. Oh, look at that setup. I'm watching Zelga on the channel now, and just that first setup where he lines up, that's so nice.
Just a bit outside on that one hit there. So it's 3-1-1-1.
But yeah, I was really worried that I was just behind at that point, just waiting for the dot done to come in, because I don't know what my opponent did. There was a number of things that I wasted time with, just taking so long to get the ice, which is where the progression was. So I'm like, Zelga could have, like, you know, did an early dip into ice and get that payoff.
And he absolutely did. I mean, he definitely went in there pretty early, but I mean, he didn't have mirror locations to do. He couldn't get to Death Mountain until he found the hook shot.
Yeah.
He had to do that. Like, he couldn't even go into Turtle Rock or Hera or Death Mountain. Like, he had put all of that off. Because he just couldn't get there.
By the way, here's another question as Zelga goes up against Ganon. How about that double mail in Agus Tower?
I enjoyed that. I'm like, all right, mail upgrade, useful. Get the second one. All right, max mail upgrade. Sure, why not?
That was hilarious because you guys both kind of synced up when you guys went there, and like when you guys went to Pod, you were weirdly synced up. Like, there were some times where like you split off and you did Turtle Rock and he did Ice Palace, but then you like came back to the same exact places. It was crazy.
Oh man!
And the fact that it was both chests in the same place, the only two chests you had there.
You know, I was worried early on. We had hammer, but like no glove. I'm like, is this gonna turn out to be an Agassi? But we weren't getting any progression into Aghanim Tower anyway. But you're always thinking in the back of your head when you're given a sword early on, and you're still missing that like access to Dark World.
We're seeing some very skilled Silverless Ganon right now, by the way. This is really, really nice. He's getting 3 hits, on every cycle.
So Zelga's go mode was, I mean, he got Mire, which eventually he got everything else. So it looks like he basically go moded Swamp.
Well, he had to find the big key for G Tower, which
is in the big chest.
Yeah. But he rushed to that big chest. It was the second place he checked, or rather the third place he checked in that dungeon. And there we go. Zelga finishing up with a still very respectable time here. We'll go through the door in about 2:02, and I would have to say about 10 seconds as well. So 13 and a half minutes off, and there we are.
Nice swag finish there into the Triforce room. GG, zelgadissan.
Official SRL time of 2:02:12. So congratulations to both of these runners.
Absolutely. That was a great race. Like, Zelga was able to do so much without the mirror. It was scary. I mean, that was bad in a way, but it was crazy that there was just so much to do.
So only 13 and a half minute difference here for missing what was in a way a critical item, but in a way it only really blocked you from one thing.
Well, the amount of extra effort to like find another Turtle Rock key and go into desert without the mirror and use the book and all that stuff was.
Well, I mean, routing wise, having the mirror is a lot better than not having the mirror, but it's still a very respectable time.
Absolutely, yeah. Around 2 hours for Keysanity is pretty typical, but Jet just had great routing for this seed. It just all worked out.
I mean, anytime that you happen to be missing an item that unlocks a number of locations like Mire does, you are a little more restricted in your choices. So, GG, Zelga.
Hey, GG's. Congratulations, man.
GG, Zelga. Tough break on the mirror, but you were showing off your skills going everywhere but Thieves Town, and it was quite impressive that you were able to do so much without it.
Yeah, I mean, once I knew as soon as I got past Hype Cave, because I did the north route starting at Skull Woods, and as soon as I got down to Hype hype cave and saw that small key, I said, I'm never going to that chest until it's literally the last thing I can do. And
Now-
I lied. I could have killed Trinix. But other than that, that's all I could have done.
Now, my question for you is, you went into Thieves Town. You ran up, you grabbed the heart, then you turned around and started going back towards it. Were you thinking about checking that big chest that second time in Thieves Town, or was that just an oops, I really wanted to go and clear out blind?
I really thought about it. I'm typically a very thorough checker in my runs, so leaving a chest behind always makes me feel like kind of iffy, and this is exactly why. I knew basically as soon as I passed it that was already going to either, if it had anything, the race was already lost. So that's why I just kept purposely passing it over and over until there was nothing else I could do.
Yeah, we
Sometimes
thought
you
that,
just gotta make that call. Just skip it and keep going because you gotta assume.
Exactly. It's like it was one of those things. Like I knew if you already got it, like if you started a hype cave, like I guessed you probably would, you would have already checked that chest. So it's one of those things where I can't go back for it, or else it's just a giant time waste.
Yep, and unfortunately in this case, they had the mirror.
Yeah. It happens. That's rando.
it
I mean,
does, and it was a big gamble, and you made it, and you stuck to your guns. Like, that was good.
Now, the thing that I really did appreciate about your run is the fact that even though you didn't have the mirror, you kept yourself moving. So you ended up going to ice, and the big thing for you there was that you found the fire rod. The bad luck for you was the fact that it had the hook shot.
Yeah, that hook shot actually led me basically everywhere that wasn't back to Thieves Town, because I finally had access to all of Death Mountain. I could do things like Hookshot Cave. Gave me access to Turtle Rock, where I had 2 keys, so I was like, I might as well just do it. Yeah, it was just kind of unfortunate the way it got routed, but yeah, I'll live with it.
Yeah, but it was an amazing play going into ice. I mean, I'm sure your options were limited, I suppose, but that actually that was a big factor, and Jet took a while to find that.
Yeah, I was actually hoping that was going to be my big thing, because I knew I couldn't find the mirror, and I was sitting there looking everywhere for it. But I was thinking, well, this is at least halfway deep into a pendant dungeon that most people don't like to do unless you're Problems IRL. So I was like, well, okay, I'll just roll with this and hope that Fire Rod's going to get me what I need. But it did, and then it didn't.
Yeah, it did take me a while to get down there. I actually ended up dipping into Turtle Rock early before Fire Rod because I felt like it was the play, and it was just not worth. And I actually thought about doing that whole take a death, check the big key chest, but I didn't want to screw up and like lose my save or something. I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna skip it. I did think about it though. But yeah, it took me a while to get down to ice to get that Fire Rod. Just the way I ended up routing and checking everything else first.
Well, like, everything was coming up Turtle Rock in the early game. Like, they gave you the red cane. Like, you guys got mitts, like, almost at the same time, very early on. You had hammer. Like, it gave you ice rod at the dam. Like, everything was screaming Turtle Rock.
And then all Turtle Rock gives you is a Misery Mire big key and a shield.
Which was Fire Rod locked. The
Yeah.
Misery Mire big key.
I had a feeling that's why I went back as soon as I got my Fire Rod and Hookshot. I could have saved it just to roll into GT afterwards. I just felt like I already did a dip. I pretty much cleared it. Let me just go up, finish the right-hand side, and see what I missed. Because I had that nagging feeling I was missing something. And when I got Mire Big Key, I'm like, all right, I'm happy with this, that I made this choice. Because I was going to have to come up here anyway before going down the Mire. And I also wanted to do Fat Fairy and put that in with Swamp.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a vanilla key there too. It just felt like as soon as I got the access, like that opened up so much on Death Mountain with that hook shot. I was like, I've got to make the most out of this. And Turtle Rock, everything led there immediately. It's got to have something. But
Were you able to clear it first time through?
no, I also skipped the big chest. I only found 3 keys, and I went in the first time with 2 and the big.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Zelga picked up one in desert later on, and then missed one that was in the Haunted Grove, south of Haunted Grove cave,
Okay.
which was mirror locked. Surprise.
Yeah, when
Just
I went
that.
there, I had 3 small keys, and I ended up getting the 4th in desert later on. I think it was the one in desert later on.
Yeah, that makes sense. I put off desert for forever just because I was like, hey, I bet it'll be so nice once I get that mirror. I can just do it that way, but no.
I mean, before I found Mire, we had, the small key to desert. We had book somewhat early, and I'm thinking, I might just have to, walk in the front door of desert. And then eventually I got that mirror. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll do backdoor now.
Yeah, I kept putting it off. Like you said, but we had so much stuff for it immediately, and the boots weren't super late even. So it was like, well, I know there's something on the torch. I could go check that too. So it's 4 things, but yeah. If I had done that, I would have at least had that TR key, but I don't necessarily regret it. There were some weird routing decisions I made, but most of it was along the lines of I knew I already was behind, probably from. Well, I didn't know I was behind, but I had a feeling I could be behind if that chest wasn't something important. And then just in general, feeling like I'm not going to out-execute Jet. So I've got to do something in the routing. So I was trying to do little things here and there.
So with this race here, Zelga, we have to say goodbye to you, but winning a 30-person race off and ending up getting into this race. Anything you want to say as you depart the tournament here?
I'm just really glad I was able to take part in this tournament. I'm really happy with the result. I came into this hoping to just have a winning record at the end, like 3-2 was going to be my, hey, I did absolutely awesome in this tournament. So just making it into the bracket stage, I'm really happy. And I just want to show a special shout out to all you guys behind the scenes doing the commentary, the restreaming, the tracking. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that some of the watchers may not know about. And I just really appreciate all the effort that gets thrown into this.
And Zelga, you did really awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Pleasure to watch.
Thank you very much.
Give it up for both of these runners, jet082 and zelgadissan. All right, I think it's time for us to get on out of here. Alucard, we have one more match of the quarterfinals to go. That is tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
That's right. It's going to be Pika Pals versus Problems IRL, the final quarterfinals match that will determine who plays Andy in the semifinals of this tournament. And we're getting really close to the end here, folks, and these are going to be some epic matches, just like we saw here today. So make sure you're tuning in tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern.
And so we've got other things going on here on the Speed Gaming channels this evening. We have Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer going on over at Speed Gaming 3 that features Proa versus Mitch Flower Power. Over on Speed Gaming 2, we have Zelda 1 randomizer, which features RC Drone versus Crystal Saver. And over on Speed Gaming 4, I believe it's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle going on right now. A lot of great things going on in Speed Gaming. But coming up next here, we have Super Metroid.
Exciting. I'm pumped to see some more multi-category. So stick around, everyone.
So go ahead and follow our runners, and special thanks to Alucard. It was a lot of fun doing commentary with you for the first time since Lincoln Dark.
Yeah, this was a blast. And a huge shout out to Number Play for doing all our tracking for us. And, of course, Feasel behind the scenes handling the restream.
Absolutely. So special thanks to everybody who runs the behind the scenes for us. I'm Adirondack Rick. Let's send it on over to the Super Metroid crew. Have a good night.
Good night.